Hello guys, and welcome to a new week of new Hello guys, and welcome to a new week of new Witchwood cards. There's gonna be a lot to cover, so let's dive right into it. There are some really cool cards. We're starting off strong with the Priest Legendary. It's called CHAMELEON. It's a 1-mana 1/1 beast, and each turn this is in your hand, you transform it into a random card your opponent is holding, okay? So this is kind of a weird take on Shifter Zerus, because not only can this transform into, give you information and stuff, this can transform into weapons as well. And it can transform into spells. And it can transform into minions. So it transforms into everything. Unfortunately, these cards are usually not too good, because when you draw them, it takes a turn to charge up, right? We noticed that Molten Blade, Shifter Zerus, and Shifting Scroll all have this problem, because you know when you draw them, it's a bad top deck. You can't play it immediately, which you usually want to do. But this gives you a little bit extra on top of that, because this will technically speaking, right? It's never gonna transform into something bad, because your opponent is playing that card as well. I can imagine this card being bad sometimes, because if say your opponent is playing like Cube Lock, and this transforms into their legendary weapon or Cabal Lackey or something like that, that would be really bad, right? Because that doesn't actually work in your deck. But if you're against some generic deck, which is just a generic value deck or whatever, you can get like, you know, Sunkeeper Tareem, you can get something like a weapon or like, you know, a spell or something like that. That could be okay. So I feel like this is the best out of the set of transform cards, out of, you know, the all the cards I just mentioned. But I don't think this is gonna be good. So I think this is whatever. It's not a legendary you need to craft or you must need in a deck or whatever. This card is just okay. Next we have Duskhaven Hunter. It's a 3-mana 2/5 stealth in Hunter, and it has the Werewolf ability, okay? So Werewolf ability, we saw this in a lot of cards, is that every time it's in your hand, it transforms into Werewolf mode and Human mode. And Werewolf mode is basically the Smork mode, right? Where it's more attack. So it's either a 3-mana 2/5 stealth, or it's a 3-mana 5/2 stealth. Now we see this a lot. Like it's just at the end of the day, it's a normie card, right? Like 3-mana 2/5 is not anything. It's not anything special. 3-mana 5/2 is also not anything special. It's Ice Rager, right? It does have stealth, so it can go face a bit better. But once again, hunters don't really need more 3-drops, because hunters are just fine, right? They have Eaglehorn Bow, they have Animal Companion, they have a lot of good 3s already. So I don't think this card is gonna make it. This card is just gonna be bad. This card is just filler. It's basically arena card, I think. I don't know why it's rare. Next we have Toxmonger. For 4 mana, you get a 2/4 Hunter minion. Whenever you play a minion that costs 1, you give it poisonous. So there are some interesting stuff you can do with this, right? So you can do something like, you know, Elven Archer, right? Elven Archer gets poisonous, it shoots something, so it's basically Assassinate with a 1-mana 1/1. You can use it as Stone-Tusk Boar. Tentacle of N'Zoth, you could use it in Wild now because it's rotating out, but Tentacle of N'Zoth getting poisonous means it kills everything, right? So there are some cutesy combos they can do with this. You can also play the 5-mana 3/5 Tolvir Warden to draw more 1-drops, but it's a 4-mana 2/4. It's very small, right? If it's a 4-mana 4/2, it'd be much better because it's more aggressively statted, but this is a Control Hunter card, and Control Hunters are just like Control Hunter, man. Like, are you just laughing out loud right now? So yeah, I don't think this is gonna be good. I think this is once again an arena pick, and in arena this is pretty good because you want to draft a lot of 1-drops in the arena when you play Hunter anyways. Giving them poisonous is pretty good. Next, we finally have a decent constructor card. 3-mana Witching Hour. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. Now this is really good because it's a 3-mana resurrect, but it only resurrects a certain type of card. So why this is better than a random card is because you can just purposely put in the best beast in the game, and you can just choose this to resurrect, right? So for example, if you only have Druid of the Claw, and you have a charge version of it or something, this is 3-mana 4/4 charge. which is really good. And that's just a normal case situation, right? There's a new beast that's just after this card that we can look at. That's a really good resurrect target. You could also get Tyrantus back or something like that. I think this is going to be really good. And Druid's probably going to get some new beasts as well. But if you want to play this card, you probably don't want to put any 1 mana beast, 2 mana beast, or even 3 or 4. You want the thick beasts so that you can actually bring them back with this. So I feel like this is going to be pretty good. Speaking of big beasts, 5 mana 3/12? Wait, what? Witchwood Grizzly. That's taunt. Oh my god, it's a beast. And Battlecry, you lose 1's health for each card in your opponent's hand. So it's basically like a Flame Imp where Battlecry hurts yourself. So yeah. Wait, what? Oh, it hurts itself. So as I was saying, this card hurts itself. So if your opponent has 6 cards, this is a 5 mana 3/6, as I was always saying. This is pretty normal. It's not as strong as I thought. It's really still really good against aggro, because aggro usually, you know, they use up all their hands and whatnot. And of course it has some synergy with stuff. So if you're playing Resurrect Priest, or you're playing the card that we just mentioned, Witching Hour, you get a 3/12 back. So that could be pretty good. So yeah. This is a solid card. I think this is really good. Alright, onwards to a new Paladin 2 mana 2/2. Shielded Mini Gargoyle. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, gain taunt and divine shield. So if you're playing a dragon paladin, this is better than the mini bot, because it has 2/2 taunt and divine shield, right? But is dragon paladin actually a thing? I don't remember any dragons and paladins. So this is kind of an odd inclusion. Very, very weird. Wait, yeah, what dragons do paladins have? They don't have anything. So, okay, this is kind of weird. I think this is, it really depends on if there's a new dragon for Paladin. I think because of this card, Paladins might get a legendary dragon. Alright? Like, why else would they make this card? Like, just because they want to waste your card packs? Next card, we have Woodcutter's Axe. It's a warrior weapon. 2 mana 2/2, so it's kind of like the old War Axe. And what does it have? As an effect, Death Rattle. Give a random friendly minion with Rush. +2/+1. So what you want to do is you play this, you attack with it, and then maybe turn 3 you can like play a rush minion, buff it up and something like that. This does seem okay, because like a 2 mana 2/2 weapon is not too bad already, right? We saw Argent Lance being played in some decks when it was in the meta back then, and this does give you an extra effect. I don't really know how many rush minions there are in Warrior. There's one that's like a 4 mana 2/5 that's a 5/5 when you play it, right? But man, it feels okay. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? 2 mana 2/2 weapon with upside can't be that bad. So yeah, I think this is reasonable. Because War Axe is so bad now, this might be the new War Axe. Deadly Arsenal, 6 mana, reveal a weapon from your deck and deal its damage to all minions. So this is just like a revamped Dragon's Fury. Instead of pulling spells, you pull weapons, and instead of the mana cost, you pull their weapon, right? Their attack. So if you Deadly Arsenal something like Gorehowl, you deal 7 damage to everything. I think this AoE is actually not that good. We already have a better AoE. The Warpath, I think Warpath is already really, really good. And there's Brawl as well. I mean, Control Warriors would maybe play this. This is still pretty good, but the fact that if you pull a War Axe, or if you pull like a shitty weapon, it becomes like, I don't think this would make it. It feels really powerful, but I think this is bad, right? Because it's RNG. And say you only have 2 Gorehowls in your deck, right? Then why the hell are you playing Warrior, right? You're playing Warrior because you want to play Blood Razors and those good weapons. And then, what if you also draw a... this card is just so... I want to not like it, but AoE in Warrior is really good. I'm gonna go with this is bad. I don't think this is gonna be good. It's just RNG and it's too expensive. And like Warriors have Brawl and they have Warpath. So I don't think it's necessary for them. Next we have Dustfallen Aviana. 5 mana, you get a Druid 3/7 Legendary. First card each player plays each turn costs 0. Now, at first this might seem like an Ellie Giggle Dust card. Dustfallen Aviana, get it? But I could imagine this doing a little bit of work, right? You have to play this in a deck where you don't really mind if your opponent plays cards. Like a 5 mana 7 health minion is something we don't see a lot. 5 mana 7 health is quite beefy. And if you can combo this with something like Malagos or Kroon or something like that, that could be pretty good, but obviously it will only be in one deck, right? It will be in the meme kind of, you know, play this, hope it survives kind of deck. I don't even know if you can cheat this out. Can you even cheat this out somehow? Like, say you have a card that says Death Rattle, summon this card, and then it's your turn. I feel like this, it's really hard to abuse this, huh? Because the problem of this card is that if you play this is already the first card you played, right? So you don't get the effect that turn. Oh, you could get it with Master Oak card. That's kind of interesting. If you have Dustfallen Aviana with Oak card, and then you have something like what, Dragon Hatcher. Okay, hey, this is a spicy one. This has to be, you have to combo this with somehow. So this is not a core card, right? It's like, it's one of those legendaries that you don't really need. So yeah. Man, the legendaries in this set seem like they're kind of like hit or miss, right? Alright, next we have Witch's Cauldron. 3 mana 0/4. Whenever friendly minion dies, so it's the Cult Master effect, right? Add a random shaman spell to your hand. This is a neutral card. So everybody can be shamans now. Oh my god. Now, this card is terrible. I can't see how this card is good because there's a 3 mana 0/4. This is just garbage. Sure, you can get shaman spells, but you also get random shaman spells. Like, why do you want random shaman spells? They have Overload. And shaman spells are... There's some really bad ones too, right? Like Healing Rain. Why would you ever want Healing Rain? Or, like, if you get Spellstone, it's kind of a waste. Man, this is garbage. This is actually garbage. I don't think I would even draft this in Arena. So this is both garbage in Arena and Constructed. Wing Blast is insane though. Wing Blast is actually ridiculous. 4 mana, Hunter spell, deal 4 damage to a minion. Now you would ask me, why would you want a 4 mana deal 4 to a minion and not face? Well, if a minion died this turn, this costs 1 mana. 1 mana deal 4 is ridiculous, okay? It's actually ridiculous. It reminds me of Soulfire from Warlock. Back in the Zoo days, where, you know, they just swarm the deck, and when you play something that has taunt or something, they just Soulfire it, and then they just keep on going face, and you can't keep up. This is kind of similar to that. And the good thing about this is it says if a minion died. So it includes your own minions, right? So if you play a bunch of 1 mana creatures, 2 mana creatures, or whatever, you can kill one of them, play Wing Blast, and then you still have 3 mana. Well, assuming you play this on turn 4, you can still have 3 mana to do other stuff, right? So I feel like this is really good. Combos really well with like Unleash the Hounds, Charge Minions, stuff like that. Weapons as well. Yeah, I think this is great. Rat Trap. It was a trap, guys. 2 mana, 6/6. Wait a second, let's read the whole thing. 2 mana secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, summon a 6/6 rat. Okay, not as good as a 2 mana 6/6 that we imagine it to be. Pretty difficult for your opponent to play 3 cards in a turn. That seems very, very difficult. Right? Like, it's already hard enough to trigger something like 3 cards in 1 turn is very hard. You have to play against a druid or something, or like a miracle rogue for this to work. This is just, man. As a hunter, I never want to play 2 mana do nothing, and this against a lot of matchups is do nothing. I feel like this is garbage. This could be okay in Arena because it's still a 2 mana 6/6, and in Arena, there's a bigger chance people play more cards. But 3 cards is so difficult. Man, I feel like this is just gonna be bad. I think this is I think you just said to give this up in Constructed. In Arena, I don't even think I want to pick this. Right? It's 2 mana do nothing, man. No, I'm off this card. Next we have Holy Water. 5 mana deal 4 to a minion. If it kills it, you add a copy of that card into your hand. So it's like a 4 mana deal 4 mind control, but instead you put it back into your hand. So this is a super value card. 5 mana deal 4 is pretty bad. But priests don't usually have like removal like that, you know? Like usually priests have removals like Shadow of Pain, Shadow of Death. So cards that instantly destroy a creature based on their attack. They usually don't have like deal damage to a minion, right? This is so expensive. Like if you think of it as like 5 mana for deal 4 damage, so Shadow Bolt, and then draw a card, which is like 2 mana. It's kind of like that, right? It's 3 mana Shadow Bolt, 2 mana draw a card combined together. So I feel like this is okay. It's definitely kind of better than Holy Fire in a sense, because usually you want a card rather than health in most matchups. Is it just me, or I feel like this is bad too? I think this is kind of bad. Why do you want your opponent's minions? You want to be doing your own stuff. I think this is also just an arena card. I don't think this is good in constructed. Like, say you're playing against Q Block, right? Or you're playing against Rogue, or you're playing against Druid. Like, I don't see a matchup where this is really good. I think this is garbage. I think this is okay in arena. And arena is actually pretty good, cause it's a 2-for-1, right? You kill their card, and then you get back, and then you get a card. I think this is really good in arena, and I think this is garbage in constructed. Even with echo cards, like even with the echo card, you use this on echo card, sure you get echo card, but it's so freaking slow. 5 mana deal 4? No, it's too slow. I hate it. I'm off this in constructed. Next we have Spectral Cutlass, 4 mana 2/2 lifesteal. Whenever you play a card from another class, gain +1 durability. So it's the Burgle thing, right? Where it gains durability as much as you play cards from a different class. Oh, it's such a small weapon too. It does have lifesteal, so technically speaking, you're gaining 2 life every turn. But it's so expensive. 4 mana deal 2 damage. And what if you don't have anything? So you have to hold this weapon, you can't attack. I'm also off this card. Oh my god, this card is also pretty bad. In arena, this is fine. Is this fine? Is this actually fine? This is fine because in arena, you usually can get like these random effects to generate different cards and stuff like that. But, oh man, I don't like this card in constructed. Bog Shaper. Alright, let's see if this is good. 7 mana 4/8 elemental for shamans. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. So, to parse this a little bit easier, 7 mana 4/8 elemental, whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. It basically says draw a card. So it's like an auctioneer. So 6 mana 4/4, and it's upgraded from that for 7 mana 4/8, right? Kind of like upgrade. It's also elemental. This could be pretty good when you have like something like Unstable Evolution, right? So then you actually just miracle and go crazy. Why is this so small? This the stat. I don't like the stat line. The stat line is so awkward, you know? Stat line is so awkward. There's a lot of spell generation in Shaman, yes, sure. And Shamans don't usually get draw cards, right? But you have to play this on turn 7 and have it live. Or you can have to play this on turn 10. Play this on turn 10, play this, and then play some spells and draw some cards. Oh, I mean, wait, sure. There is a situation where if your opponent plays this, you go like, oh shit, do I have to kill this? Right? So I guess this could be okay in that sense. Right? It is really beefy. Like, if you play this on turn 7, your opponent goes like, well, I have to either kill this or ignore this for the rest of the game. Alright, let's say that this has a little bit of potential. Just a little bit. Like, a tiny bit. Death Web Spider. It's a Warlock beast. 5 mana 4/6. If your hero took damage this turn, gain lifesteal. Pure arena card. This has 0 hope in constructed. Because you have to take damage this turn, right? It doesn't even matter if you took damage last turn or whatever. You have to take damage this turn. So there is just... You just cannot play this for 5 mana. You have to have some other card and then play this. And it's just a lifesteal minion. So, pure arena card. There's no way this makes it in constructed. Dustbat, 3 mana 2/4. If your hero took damage this turn, summon 2 1/1 bats. Now, this is also really bad, right? We saw that, remember there was a 2/3 for 3? It's called the Heirs of Magic or something. You know, the Templar, right? 3 mana 2/3, summon 2 1/1 dragons if you are holding a dragon, right? That card was so good. People thought that was the new muster for battle, right? Because you summon 3 stuff. But it turns out that it's really, really difficult to have holding a dragon, and just playing that is really bad. So I think this is actually even more garbage, because you can't even play this on turn 3, right? How do you take damage on turn 3? There's like just no way you can do that. So it's either a 3 mana 2/4 you play on turn 3, or it's a 3 mana summon 2 1/1 bats that's not on turn 3 when it's very easy to do. This is actually garbage, right? You could think that this is kind of a trap. Because, wow, it's like 3 mana 4/6. What a great deal. It's not. Because there is a very hard to reach condition. So yeah, I am very, very off this card. And now we have Blood Witch. 4 mana 3/6 Warlock. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to your hero. Oh, so this is how you trigger all your if you took damage this turn thing, right? So what you want to do with this card is you want to Blood Witch on turn 4 and they say Death, and then you want to Death Web Spider it and gain lifesteal or something. But oh god, 4 mana 3/6 of a drawback, right? I mean, you could say it's like a positive thing, right? Because you know, you want to activate the stuff. But 4 mana 3/6s can have a good side. There's like Water Elemental and Priest of the Feast already. So this 4 mana 3/6 when compared to those cards seems really bad. And we know that if a 4 mana 3/6 has only a slight upside, that it's not going to be played. Remember there was a card that's like the Disciple of Cthulhu or something in Priest. 4 mana 3/6. Give your Cthulhu +1/+1 every time a character is healed, right? It's Hooded Acolyte. Hooded Acolyte. She's like this. She's like this, right? That card did not ever see play. Well, sure, Cthulhu Priest was not really that good. But it just goes to show that 4 mana 3/6 needs to have like an effect for it to be good. And this has no effect. So, yeah. Sure, it also buffs your Spellstone. But then, yeah, this is bad. So I feel like all these Warlock cards that, you know, when you get dealt damage, summon something, they're just not gonna be good, right? Just play Q block. Or even better yet, maybe Zoo comes back, you know? Play Zoo instead. Alright. Next we have Dire Frenzy. For 4 mana, you get a spell. Give a beast +3/+3. So it's kind of like Blessing of Kings. And you get an extra effect. Shuffle 3 copies into your deck with the +3/+3. It's a hunter card, by the way. It looks like a druid card for a second, but it's a hunter card. So you get to Blessing of Kings something, not quite, but then you get to shuffle 3 copies of it. The shuffle copies is honestly a little bit hard to work with because it doesn't give you card advantage and you draw into them. There are some interesting stuff we can do with this, right? So say you have the Stampeding Kodo, right? Where it's the 4 mana 2/4, deal damage equal to its attack thing, right? So if you can buff that up, you can have a 5/7 and it deals 5 damage on Battlecry. That seems pretty good. You can also use it on Huffer, right? Get a very nice juicy 3 mana 7/5 charge. This seems reasonable if you can put it on a minion that can use the +3/+3 immediately. You have to do it. You have to kind of abuse this somehow. Oh, it's rotating out. Feels bad, man. All right. Well, you can't even use it on the Stampeding Kodo because it's not gonna work. Yeah, you have to put this on something that's charge or taunt or something for it to be good. Otherwise, you know, it's a kind of a bad Blessing of Kings. And you also need a lot of beasts. It only works on beasts. So we'll see. We'll see if there's any beasts that's good targets for this. Gilnean Royal Guard. 8 mana 3/8 Divine Shield Rush. Wow, okay. Each turn this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. Alright, so it's a werewolf. 8 mana 3/8. So it can be an 8 mana 3/8, deal 3. Or it can be 8 mana 8/3 and deal 8 as a rush. Whoa, this is insane in Arena. This is actually really good in Arena. Because you get to kill something and you get a big minion. And you can even kill like 8/8s with this. So this is really, really good. This is garbage in Constructed. As for an 8 mana card, you need to do something insane, right? It's so expensive. This is not gonna make it in Constructed. But this is insane in Arena. So it's one of those cards. Okay, next we have another werewolf. It's the Swift Messenger. 4 mana 2/6 with Rush and as the werewolf. So 4 mana 2/6 Rush or 4 mana 6/2 Rush. 4 mana 6/2 Rush is fine. 4 mana 2/6 Rush is... Whoa, it's better than Stormwind Knight. Oh, Stormwind Knight is crying in the corner now. So this is bad in Constructed. All this werewolf seems really bad in Constructed. Like, it just doesn't seem good at all. Maybe you can hand buff it to be good, but oh man, I don't think these are gonna make it because they're just vanilla cards anyways. This is good in Arena. Okay, obviously 4 mana 2/6. Rush is great. 4 mana 6/2 Rush is also good. 4 mana deals 6 damage to a minion is a fireball. You will always pick that. So I think this is gonna be really good in Arena again. So all these werewolf cards are just like, I feel like they're pretty much insta pick in Arena. All right, and the final card of the day is Spell Shifter. 2 mana 1/4 spell damage, and once again it has the effect of you get to swap its attack and health when it's in your turn. It's a werewolf. So now Dalaran Mage is crying because 3 mana 1/4 spell damage is no longer gonna cut it. How often are you gonna play this with 2 mana 4/1? Well, you would play this when you're against a class that doesn't have like a ping ability. So if you play this against like, you know, priest or warrior, I can see this being really good. The 4/1 the side of things. 2 mana 1/4 spell damage seems pretty bad though. Like, you usually don't want to play that. Even though it's 1 cheaper than Dalaran Mage, I don't think this is gonna make it. So yeah, I think this is one of the worst werewolf cards for Arena. So yeah, I don't think this is gonna make it too much. And in Constructed, this is just garbage again. So yeah. All right, so there you go. That is the new Witchwood cards for the weekend and today. There's a lot of Arena cards and a lot of filler cards that got released today. The best cards are the best card is actually Wing Blast. I feel like Wing Blast is gonna be ridiculous. So yeah, Wing Blast for Constructed. Everything else seems kind of like a Arena card to me. Deadly Arsenal might make some warrior lists. Cathedral Gargoyle might be the new hotness for Dragon Paladin. Witching Hour could be really good. And of course, Witchwood Grizzly, if you read the effect correctly, you could actually abuse this effect a little bit. So yeah, there you go. We'll see you guys in the next video.